This conference will now be recorded.
Now, now today we'll see few more classes that we use as part of SOQL queries. So now we'll see the order by class and what exactly the order by class, what is the use, how can we use the order by class in order to arrange the records either in ascending or descending format based on one or more columns. Okay, now for example, assume that I'm collecting some account records from my account object. So whenever I'm executing my SOQL query, it may be static query, it may be dynamic query, whatever, it will collect the data from the object, it will return those records to you. But it won't arrange those records in a specific format. Okay, it won't arrange the records in a specific format. But sometimes, whenever I'm collecting the data from the object, I want to get those data in a specific format here. I want to arrange those records in the alphabetical order based on some name or based on some rating or based on some annual revenue. I want to arrange the records either in ascending or descending format. So in this case, whenever if you want to arrange the records in either alphabetical format, either in ascending format or descending format, based on one or more columns, then we will use the class called as order by class. Order by class is used to arrange the record. That means sorting. Okay, we are sorting the records either in ascending or descending format based on one or more number of columns. For that reason, we are using that class called as order by class. Okay, now make a note of this one. Order by class. By using this class, we can arrange the result set records either in ascending or descending order based on one or more columns. Based on one or more number of columns, we can able to arrange the records either in ascending or descending order. Then how can we use this order by class in order to arrange the records? Now let's see practically. The syntax. So we can specify the SOQL query and we can specify the order by class, specify the column name, and then we can specify the order. In which order you want to arrange, either ascending order or descending order. No need to specify that ascending and the descending word completely. Simply we can specify the shortcut. If you want to arrange the records in alphabetical order in the ascending format, specify that word ASC or else you can specify DSC. That means descending order. Now, upon preparing this order by class, specifying the order is optional again. We no need to specify the order. It's an optional. So now in this case, you can raise a question, sir, if I'm not specifying any order, then what is the default order considered by Salesforce? Now, by default, Salesforce is considering the default order as ascending. Ascending order is a default order. If you did not specify any order, by default, Salesforce is going to be arranging those records based on the specified column in ascending order by default. Okay. If the user did not specify any order, either ascending or descending, by default, Salesforce will be arranging the default order as ascending. That means A to Z format, minimum to maximum. Okay. Clear? Now. So now let's see how can we fetch the data from the object by arranging the records in a specific order, either ascending order or descending order. Now let's see practically here. Okay. So take a small use case. So write an Apex program to fetch all the opportunity records by arranging the records in the ascending order based on the amount value. Based on the amount value, I would like to arrange the records in the alphabetical order. That means ascending format. Okay. Now let's see how can we fetch the data here. Now, so let me open the class which we have prepared. So what is the class we have prepared in the last session? Database methods helper. Okay. Now, so these are the various methods we have prepared in the last session. Now, I'm going to be collecting the data, okay, from the object now. Okay. Now, so let's see how can we get the data from the opportunity object by arranging the records based on the amount field in ascending format. So now here I'm preparing the method public static void get opportunity records. Okay, get opportunity records. So now tell me how can we write this query now? How can we get these records now? Okay, list of what? Opportunity. Okay, lst of t equals to, I want to fetch the data. Now select id of the opportunity, name, amount, stage name, column name is stage name. Okay, now the close date from opportunity. Now tell me, order by order by what column? Amount column. What is the order you want? Ascending. Do I need to specify any keyword here? No, because the default order is ascending format. Okay, so I'm not specifying any order here. Now I want to represent those records for each and every opportunity record from the collection. For each and every opportunity record opt from the LST opt collection. I want to show that. Opportunity record is, I want to show that opt. I'm displaying that record information. So I'm preparing an SOQL query in order to get the data from the opportunity object by arranging the information based on this amount field in the ascending order. The minimum amount value opportunity record has to be get visible first, and the highest amount value record should be visible at the last. This one directly we can write inside the for loop also, no problem. Any SOQL query we can write inside the for loop, no problem. It may be any class, any conditions you are using, okay, we can write inside the for loop. Done? Now, so let me invoke this method. So now I would like to specify get opportunity records. I'm calling this method now. Click on execute button. The request has been sent to the server. It is loading the response. Select the debug only checkbox in order to see the records here. These are the various opportunity records are available over here, which is indicating to you. Now the first opportunity record here, the 15,000 rupees will be the amount. There is the second one, and then 30,000, 35,000, 45,000, 45,000, 50,000, and then 60,000, 75,000, 80,000, 85, like that. It is keep on incrementing that here. Based on that amount field, we can able to arrange the records based on that amount field value in the ascending format here. Okay, like that here we can able to get all the opportunity records here. Clear? Let me place that class code. Done? Yes, we can specify multiple columns also. Done with this code? Now, so let's write some SOQL query. Just the query part I want. Only the query part is sufficient for me. Now, write an SOQL query to fetch five account records by arranging the accounts in descending format based on the annual revenue. Write an SOQL query to fetch 5 account records by arranging the accounts in descending format based on the annual revenue column. Now tell me, how can we write this query? List of account. Next, select ID of the account, name, rating, industry, annual revenue from account. Next, order by, Order by annual revenue descending. Next, what you want? Limit 5, right? That's it. Okay. So now here I'm going to be collecting the account records from the account object by arranging the records based on annual revenue value in the descending format. Nothing but highest values first. Okay. The highest annual revenue records will be getting visible first. From those records, I'm getting the top 5 records over here. This limit class is exactly like as top keyword. If anybody is aware of SQL Server, anybody is aware of SQL Server? Okay. There you will be having the top keyword to get the topmost records. Same exactly the concept of limit class. Done? Now, next one. Write one more SOQL query. So write an SOQL query to fetch all the position records by arranging in the chronological order and place the records inside the map collection Chronological order means what? Recently created records first I want. First. That means recent to last. Whenever we are going to be filling up our education details in any of the job portal, we have to fill up in the chronological order. Recently done graduation, like as post graduation first, and then graduation, and then your intermediate, and then 10th class. Like that, we need to specify all the things in the reverse order. Like the similar way I want in the chronological order over here. Now tell me, how can we write this code? Order by date of creation. How do you know? Where it will be getting stored? On creating a record, then where that created date will be getting researched, in which field it will be storing that? Created date field. Based on created date field, in which format you want to arrange? Either ascending or descending. I want recently created record first. Nothing but the highest date first. Then what we can do? Descending format. That's it. Okay, descending format. But now I want these records in the form of map collection, not in the form of list. I want in the form of map. Now tell me that what we can do. Map collection. Map of what? ID, position record. Map positions equals to new map of ID comma position. Right. Now here what we need to do? Query. Where we can write that? Inside that constructor. Now we can write that query. Select ID of the position record, name of that position record. Now position status, and then location of the position, and then created date from position object. Now tell me, order by created date descending. That's it. Okay, order by created date descending. That means recently created position records will be getting visible first. Whatever the position records available inside my object, okay, which has been created recently, those records will be getting visible first. Done? Understood the concept here? How to use this order by class in order to arrange the records? Now, the next class. Offset class. Offset class. So what is the use of this offset class generally? Okay. Okay. That means what? We are indicating how many number of records to be get skipped from the result set. Okay. Now, for example, come to a general scenario. Assume that I have an object. So this is my contact object. Inside my contact object, I'm having 100 records. Okay. I'm having 100 records inside my contact object. So now I'm having a user interface also. I'm having a visual first page. On this visual first page, I want to show the records in the form of a table or format. I want to show the records in the form of a table or format. I want to show the records in the form of a table or format. So this is my table here. Now I want to collect the data from this object. I want to show inside my visual first page. That is my requirement. But upon showing these records, I don't want to show all the records. I want to display these records by dividing them into the various small pieces. So whatever the 100 records are available, these 100 records I want to divide into the various small pieces. Now the first 10 records into one separate piece, next 10 records, and then next 10 records, and then next 10 records. Like that, I want to divide all the records into the various small pieces. So whatever the 100 records are available inside my object, these 100 records I'm going to be dividing into the various small pieces over here. Now, these 100 records I'm dividing into the various small pieces. This is one piece, and this is the second piece, and this is third piece, fourth piece, fifth piece. I'm dividing the record into the various small pieces. In each piece, I would like to specify some records, like as 1 to 10. Okay, the first 10 records, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 50, sorry, 40, and the 41 to 50. So like that, here I would like to have those records. Like that, I would like to have those records. I want to divide these records into the various small pieces. I don't want to show all the 100 records at a time. I want to divide these records into the various small pieces. That each piece I want to show at a time. Okay, each piece of record I want to show at a time inside my tabular format. This kind of implementation is called as what? Pagination. Okay, it is called as pagination. This feature is called as pagination or paging. That means instead of displaying all the records at a time, we are dividing the records to the various small pieces called as pages. Okay. So now this is called as one page. This is one page. That is called as the page one. This is the second page. Page two. This is the third page. Page three. This is the fourth page. Page four. This is the fifth page. Page five. Like that, how many pages will be available over here? Page 10. Okay, 10 pages will be available. In the 10th page, you will be having the records from 91 to 100. Okay, these records are available inside this. 91 to 100 records will be available inside that page 10. Totally 10 pages are available. That means instead of displaying all the records at a time, I'm dividing the records into the various small pieces called as pages. That is called as pagination or paging feature. Each page can be identified by using an index position which is always starting from 1. Okay, the first page will be having the records 1 to 10, second page will be having 11 to 20, third page is having 21 to 30. Like that, we are splitting the record to the various small pieces. That each piece contains some 10 records over here. These 10 records, here 10 records, here 10, here 10, here 10. Okay, now initially I'm displaying the first 10 records over here. Now I want to see the next 10 records. Then what we can do? I want to see the next 10 records. Initially, page 1 has been visible. 1 to 10 records are visible inside my table. Now I want to see the next 10 records. Then what we can do? As part of pagination, navigation buttons are available. You will be having the navigation buttons are available here. Now I am going to placing those navigation buttons. For example, I'm having the navigation buttons like this. Here's the first navigation button, previous navigation button, next, and the last. These are the 4 navigation buttons are available with me. Okay, for my pagination. As soon as once I click on that next button, next 10 records has to be get visible. Now, for example, now let me explain here in this case. So now here I'm having that the records are available here. So now in each and every page, how many records are available now here? 10 records. So now how can we indicate 10 records to be get visible at a time? What is that class? Limit class. Okay, we are using that limit class over here. Okay, we are using that limit class to indicate how many number of records has to be get visible. I want to show 10 records at a time. Okay, for example, now initially the first 10 records are getting visible. The first record to 10th record has been getting visible here right now. Now how many records has been skipped over here? Anything has been skipped? No, we are collecting the record from the first record itself up to 10 records I'm displaying over here. Now how many records has been skipped? Then we can indicate with the help of offset. How many records are skipped over here? 0, because 0 records has been skipped right now. For example, first 10 records are visible here. Now when you click on next button, what records will be getting visible? 11th to 20. Okay, now 11th to 20 means how many records we are displaying here? 10 records. That means limit is 10. And then offset value, what is offset value now? 10 records. That means skip the first 10 records and then get the records from the 11th record over here. Okay, get the records here from 11th to 20. Okay, 11th to 20th records. Okay, now when I click on next button again here, what will happen? What is the offset value here? 20. Now, what is the limit value? 10. Now when I click on next button again, what is the offset value? 30. What is the limit value? 10. When I click on next button again, offset value 40, limit value 10. That means what here, where we are using this limit and offset classes, in which feature? Pagination. Okay, so now it's a common question in every interview where we can use this limit and the offset clauses. Limit clause and offset clause is used to implement that pagination facility, because limit clause is used to indicate how many number of records to be get visible per page, and then offset clause is used to indicate how many number of records to be skipped from the result set. Because keep on we are going to be navigating from the first record to last record here. At that time, initially the first record will be getting visible, record 1 to 10. When you click on next button, skip the first 10 records, start from 11 and display up to 20th records. When you click on next button, skip the first 20 records, start from 21 and display up to 30 records. When you click on next button, okay, skip the first 30 records, start from 31 and then display up to 40. That means what? In order to skip the number of records from the result set, we are using this offset clause. Offset clause is used to indicate now how many records has to be get skipped from the result set. Okay. Limit clause is used to indicate how many number of records has to be get visible here. Okay. Clear? Now, when you go to that RQL, you will be having a column field called as row number. Okay. Row number here. By using that row num class, we can able to indicate from which record you would like to fetch the data here. Like the similar way, we can indicate how many records we need to skip from the result set. Okay, clear? Now, so now in this case, whenever I'm using this limit class and the offset class, always limit class has to be get written for it first, and then offset class we have to write as next. This is the order. That means what? Offset class should be always followed by limit class here. Okay, limit class should be first and then only offset class. Okay, clear? Now, understood the concept here? Now make a note here. Offset class. This class is used to specify the number of records to be get skipped from the result set. This class is used to specify the number of records to be get skipped from the result set. Limit class and offset class will be used to achieve the pagination. To achieve the pagination or paging. To achieve the pagination or paging. Order by in the sense, just we can arrange the record, that's it. We can arrange and then we can use that pagination by using limit and offset both. Now, note point. Always offset class should be followed by the limit class. Always offset class should be followed by the limit class. This is the order we have to follow. Close the window. Okay, now, so how can we specify? Now let me explain here the syntax. Syntax, I would like to specify the SOQL query, and we can specify the limit integer value. We can specify the offset integer value. Now here you can raise a question. Sir, initially, whenever I'm preparing my query, I'm specifying the column details, and along with that, I'm indicating limit as some 10, offset I'm indicating like a 0, because first time offset will be 0. When I click on next button, it has to display the next set of records. That means 11 to 20. That means now the next 10 records. Their offset value has to be get changed. How many records you would like to skip? 10 records I want to skip. Get the records from the 11th one to the next 10 records. That means up to 20. Okay. So in this case, how can we pass these values dynamically at runtime? Can we pass this value at runtime? Yes, that is also possible. How to pass? Let me show you over here. Now, we can specify the SOQL query. We can specify the limit, colon, we can specify that limit value. What are the limit value that you want, you can specify. Offset, colon, offset value. Okay. Limit value also we can supply, offset value also can supply. When I come to this side. Screen is not visible, come to this side. Visible? Okay. Now, so in this case, upon preparing the query, I would like to pass this value dynamically at runtime. How to supply the value to this particular classes? Now let's see practically by using parameters. I want to prepare a procedure which is of type parameterized procedure. As of now, we have prepared that the default procedures. We are not supplying any parameters over here. Now I want to pass this limit value and the offset value dynamically at runtime. So that I would like to define some parameters also inside my procedure. You know how to pass the values to the parameters. You know that concept over here. Now let me use the columns over here. Okay. Now make a note of that one. A small use case. Write an Apex program to fetch how many accounts are there. Let me verify. $35. Okay. All the account records from the object based on the specified limit and offset values. Based on the specified limit and offset values. Now these two values I would like to supply to my procedure or to my query at runtime. So now whatever the values are required, that values I'm passing as the parameters, those parameter values I'm including inside my query. Then how can we supply the values to these parameters at runtime? Now let's see. No. Done? Now let's see how can we implement that. I'm preparing a procedure. Public static get accounts by limits. Okay, get accounts by limits. I would like to pass the limit value and offset value here. Now I'm indicating that. Limit value is also a numerical, so that I'm indicating limit value and offset value. I'm passing two parameters to my procedure. Both will be of type integer type. Because limit is also a number we need to supply. For offset also we need to supply one numerical value, so that I'm passing two integer type of parameters. Now, I want to query the data here. I want to query the data here. Suppose, for example, upon calling this procedure, if I'm passing limit is 0, offset 0, then how many records you need to fetch? 0 records. Okay. Offset 0 means first record. How many records you want to fetch? Limit 0, in the sense 0 record. That means nothing. In this case, do I need to write my SOQL query? If I'm passing both the values are 0 and 0, do I need to execute my SOQL query? Do I need to waste my query then? No, not required. When you want to execute, if the limit value is greater than 0. Okay, if the limit value is greater than 0, then only I would like to verify that. I would like to execute that query here. For that one here, I'm using this one. Okay, now, if the limit value is greater than 0, if the limit value is greater than 0, then only I would like to execute my SOQL query, okay, by getting these values over here. Okay, now then how can we write this query? Now let's see practically. What is the problem inside this? Okay, limit value. If the limit value is greater than 0, then only I would like to execute my SOQL query here. How can we get this one? Now let's see here. Now, I'm using that list collection, or else I would like to write that SOQL query directly. How can we write? Now let's see. I want to write this SOQL query inside my for loop. So I'm using that for loop here. For specify the colon, I'm writing that SOQL query. Select ID of the account, name, rating, industry, annual revenue from account. We can specify the limit value. Limit is what? How can we specify? I don't want to hard code. I want to get that value. How can we place that one? Colon, limit value. Now this colon is indicating this is the dynamic assignment. Okay, here's the dynamic assignment. If anybody is aware of Oracle, in Oracle they are using that for the dynamic assignment. They are using that colon symbol here. It's an Oracle syntax. Okay, it's an Oracle syntax. Now in Oracle also the people are following the similar over here. So now limit, we can specify the colon. Colon is indicating dynamic assignment. That means whatever the value that I'm passing to this limit value parameter, please include that value inside this place over here. Please represent or please substitute this variable value inside this place. For that one, dynamically I'm assigning this limit value here. And then after that, I would like to specify offset. Offset colon offset value. Now, this is my SOQL query. My query returns what kind of records? Account records. So that I'm defining that account variable. Account ACC. Now I'm displaying that record. System.debug. Account record is. I want to display that account record. I'm passing that value dynamically at runtime. Instead of hard coding those values, I want to pass those values at runtime. In order to pass the values at runtime, we have to use parameterized procedures. Through the parameterized procedures, we can supply the value, and that parameter value we can able to substitute in the required place wherever you want inside your query. So inside the for loop itself, I am writing this SOQL query. Done? Now. So now whenever if you want to invoke this method, we have to pass two numerical values. One is for the limit, second one is for offset. Okay. Now, so let me invoke these methods. How can we invoke this method in order to get the required records? Now let me explain. So I'm calling this method. So now when I click on this execute button, in this case, what will happen? It will be giving the exception message, okay, incorrect method or signature, okay, because here there is no method is available, okay, with this name without any parameters, okay, method does not exist or okay, incorrect signature. It is raising that exception message. Now it is expecting some parameters, two input values it is expecting over here. Now I'm passing the value, okay, 0. I'm giving that offset limit as 10, offset as 0. For example, let me give that limit as some 50. I want that 50 records. Skip the records, okay? 0 records you can skip. Now, for your understanding more clarity, I'm giving that one more option here. Order by. Order by. Because if I'm arranging that, then you can understand very clearly here. Let me show you practically. So now here initially I'm giving that limit as 50, offset as 0. That means don't skip the records, collect all the records up to 50. Okay, collect all the records up to 50 records here. Okay, now, so let me execute this one. Request will be sending to the server whatever the value we have supplied. Okay, whatever the value we have supplied, now this values will be getting placing inside my parameters here. Now the 50 will be placing inside the limit value, 0 will be placing like as offset over here. So now it will be collecting that first 50 records. Now we can see. Select the debug only. Now we can see the first 50 records are available. Whatever the records are available, up to 50 records, it will be returning to you by arranging the records in the alphabetical order based on that name column over here. Okay, these are the name columns. Now what I want to do is I want to skip the first 10 records from my result set. How can we do this one? Now let me take that screenshot over here. So these are the records are available. From these records, first 10 records I would like to skip. So what are those first 10 records? Let me explain here. These are the records. These are the first 10 records. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 records. I want to skip these 10 records over here. Now I want to get the records from this place. Okay, I want to get the records from this place. Okay, from this place I would like to get the records over here. Then how can we skip this 10 records? Offset value we need to supply it as 10. Now let me supply the value offset as 10. Now let me execute. Get the results. Select the debug only checkbox. First 10 records. Now Abhishek record, Apex Rest account record, excuse me, automated test, sharing test, Burlington Textile Corporation up to like as a field update test account. These 10 records has to be get skipped because here I don't want these records here. Okay, I don't want these 10 records. I want to display the records from Genie Point, Grand Hotels and Resorts. These records I want to display. So that go to your user interface debug log file, we are able to see the record Genie Point, Grand Hotels and Resorts, Jason Industries, like that here. These are the records are getting visible. First 10 records has been skipped from the result set here. Okay, so that here in order to skip some records from the result set, we are using that class called as offset class. By using that offset class, we can able to indicate how many number of records to be get skipped from the result set. For example, if I'm giving that value as some 5, the first 5 records will be getting skipped from the result set. The remaining records will be getting visible. Now, so what are the records are there? The first record, and then this is the second record, third one, fourth one, fifth one, up to this record, data loader account 1, up to these 5 records, it has to be get skipped from the result set. This should not be get visible to me. I want to display the records from data loader account 5, Dickinson PLC, like that. Select the debug only checkbox. Now it is indicating data loader account 5, Dickinson PLC, edge communication, remaining records will be getting visible. So that depends upon the requirement, we can able to pass the value, how many number of records to be get skipped from the result set. So that no need to hard code that limit value and the offset value. Upon preparing the query, we can able to supply that value at runtime also, depends upon your requirement here. Okay, clear? Now, understood the concept here? Clear up to now? Done with this code? Okay. Now, so let's go to that next class, where class. So what is this where class basically? What is the use of this where class? Comparing column values, okay, adding some conditions. Sometimes, as of now, what we did, we are going to be collecting some data from the object. From different objects, we are collecting the data, and upon collecting the data, we are going to be giving some limitations also. I want these many number of records only. We are indicating these many number of records skip from the result set, and arrange the records in this particular order. We are indicating that, but sometimes I want the records based on some specific conditions. I don't want all the records available inside my account object. I want only those account records whose rating is some hot. Sometimes I want only those position records whose location is equals to some Mumbai. Sometimes I want only those users, okay, whose status equals to active status equals to yes. Sometimes I want only those leads whose city value equals to some Bangalore. Sometimes I want only those contacts whose phone number is not equals to empty. That means what? Based on some conditions, I would like to fix the records here. Like when you go to your enhanced list view also, not only fetching all the records available inside the object, we can able to add some filters also by creating that list view options, which are called as filters. Like the similar way, whenever I'm querying my data from the database object, I want to apply some conditions. I want to filter out the records. I don't want all. I would like to get only some specific records which are required for me. In this case, how can we apply the conditions? How to add our own filters to the SOQL query to filter out the result set records? Now you can raise a question, sir, why you want to add the conditions inside my query? Why can't we collect all the data from the database object? Why can't we store inside my collection? Here I will do the required filtering over here. But in this case, what happened? If I'm collecting all the data, then at that time, unnecessary records also will be getting written, which will be storing inside the collection, which is occupying some more memory here. And that too, once the records are available inside your collection, then we have to start writing some code to do the filtering processing here. To filter those records, we have to write some additional code. To execute that code, it will take some time. It will be impacting on the application performance. For that one, I don't want to make my application complex. I want to make my query complex here. Whatever the query that I'm going to prepare, in that query itself, I would like to add the conditions, everything. All the complex conditions I want to add inside my query, that queries will be getting, okay, executing the database level. Database is having very faster mechanism to get the data. It is having that condition verification process also. So it will do the processing very fastly. So that inside my application side, I can reduce the coding part. I can reduce the processing parts. I can reduce the filtering parts so that I can make my application performance will be improved. For that reason, don't process that records inside your application side. Do the inter-processing in the database side itself. So that whatever the conditions, whatever the filters you want to apply, add those filters inside the query itself. Don't do that filtering inside your application level. For that one, I would like to add some conditions along with my query. Whenever if you want to add some conditions, then we are using that class called as where class. By using that where class, we can able to add the conditions to the query, which is used to filter out the records. Whatever the record that we have inside your object, upon fetching the data, don't fetch all the records. Fetch only those records which are meeting the criteria or the conditions which we have specified. Now, at that time, to add the required conditions along with the query, we are using this where class. Now tell me how many conditions we can able to add along with this where class. Only one or multiple conditions you can apply, multiple conditions. That's what here upon giving the syntax itself I have clearly indicated to you. Where conditions, not only on one condition, multiple. Group by number of columns, order by number of columns here, and then limit we can specify the integer, and then offset we can specify the integer. All rows for update clearly have indicated here itself. Plural format have indicated over here. Conditions, not only one, multiple conditions also we can able to apply upon filtering the records. Okay, clear? Now make a note of this one. By using where class, we can add one or more user defined conditions to the query to filter the record set results. To filter the result set records. To filter the result set records. To filter the result set records. By using where class, we can fetch only the required records from the object. We can fetch only the required records. We can eliminate the unnecessary records from the result set. We can eliminate the unnecessary records from the result set. We can eliminate the unnecessary records from the result set. Now, the syntax. We can specify the SOQL query. Along with that, we can specify the where conditions. How can we specify the condition? For example, tell me where we can specify. How can we specify the condition? Okay. Field name equals to some value. Okay. Now, how can we specify here? I want to get only those accounts whose industry equals to some banking. What we can do? Where industry equals to banking. Where industry equals to banking. I want to get only those contacts whose email ID is not null. Whose email ID is not null. What we can do? Where email field not equals to null. Right. I want only those leads whose annual revenue more than some 20 lakhs. Where annual revenue value greater than or equals to 20 lakhs. Okay. Now, I would like to fetch. Okay, I would like to fetch only those positions whose location value equals to some Hyderabad. Where location underscore underscore C equals to Hyderabad. Like that, we can able to specify the conditions. We need to use that. I will show you that one now. How can we use that multiple conditions? Then how can we add the multiple conditions now? Sometimes I want only those account records whose industry is some finance, okay, whose industry is some finance, and then whose rating value not null. Where industry equals to finance. Finance. Then rating value not equals to null. So in this case, see, whenever I'm using that end operator, nothing but here for the concatenation of the multiple conditions. Here we can't use the symbols. We have to use the word and. Okay, observe the difference. If it is if condition, we are using the ampersand symbols. If it is SOQL query, always we have to use that word and or not. Okay. We can't use that symbols here. It won't accept that. Now, sometimes I want only those positions. Okay, I want only those positions whose location value is equals to some Pune, and then whose the HR person's email ID value is not null. Okay, I would like to specify. I'm indicating where location value is equals to Pune and HR email ID. Email ID not equals to null. Like that, we can specify. Done? Now. Now let's see how can we prepare this one here. How to write these SOQL queries. Understood the concept here? How to prepare the conditions? Now let's see some practical part here. Take a small use case. Write an Apex program to fetch all the banking accounts from the object. To fetch all the banking accounts from the object. That means whatever the account records are available, whose industry equals to banking, I want to fetch only those records. Now tell me how can we do this one? Okay. Tell me the code. List of account LST accounts equals to I want to fetch. Select ID of the account, name, rating, industry, annual revenue from account. Next, where industry equals to banking. That's it. Done? Now, next one. Write few SOQL queries now. Just I want the query part. Write an SOQL query to fetch all the active users from the object. Whatever the active user records are available, I want only those active users. How do you know whether a user is in active status or not? He is active field. Then what is the value for that field? If he is in active, true. That's it. Okay. Now write that code. List of user active users equals to. I'm writing that. Select the ID of that user record. First name of the user record. Last name, email, title, username is active from user object, where is active equals to true. Where is active equals to true. Done. Next one. Write one more query. Write an SOQL query to fetch top 5 highest annual revenue banking customers and store in the map. Now, so what's the requirement here? Okay. What we can do? What is my requirement? To fetch top 5 highest annual revenue banking customers. That means what? I need to collect that banking customers. How many I want? 5. That too, what are those 5 customers? I want to get only the top 5 highest annual revenue values. Descending order based on what? Annual revenue. That's it. Write that query. I want to store inside a map collection. Map of ID comma account. Now tell me. So what we can write now? Where class, okay? Order by limit. Now tell me which class we need to write first, which class we need to write next. Where class should be first. Where industry equals to banking. Next, okay. Order by annual revenue descending. Limit 5. Okay, limit 5. Right. So depends upon the requirement, not only using one class, we should be able to use multiple classes also and should be aware of in which order we need to write those classes. Okay. Done? Now, next. Write an SOQL query to fetch only the deleted records from the account object. I don't want the records which are present inside my object. I want only deleted records. All those, okay. It will include that both deleted, non-deleted. I want only deleted records. Is deleted equals to true. That's it. Okay. We have to use all rows class and then we have to use is deleted equals to true. Okay. List of account. Select ID, name, rating, industry is a deleted field from account where is a deleted equals to true and then all rows. Okay, clear now. So now as of now, we have supplied the values for that where class by hard-coded conditions. Okay, so for this where class we are passing these values, okay, hard-coded values. How to supply the dynamic values to my where class, we'll see in tomorrow's session. In tomorrow's session, we'll see how can we supply the value for the where clauses at runtime, and along with that, we'll see the concept of like operator, in operator, and the dynamic SOSL, the SOQL query also. Okay, all these things we'll see. Okay. Tomorrow we have the session as usual.